Right, in this video, what to do about a leaky toilet. This is a modern toilet. The particular brand is Roca, but many of them use the same principles. Now, I've kind of already taken it apart, so I'm just going to show you from the point where I've taken it apart. Now, what you need to first, how do you know it's leaking? Because when you have fully weighted and you flushed it, what happens is after you're fully weighted, around the rim on the inside, water is still gushing out on the inside, and no matter what happens, it won't fill up and stop the water from flowing. So it could be a number of reasons, but one of the reasons that is very common is the one I found on this particular one in our property. Now, what you first got to do is turn off the water. If you have a valve, turn it off clockwise, 90 degrees, and that should shut it off. Next thing, these are very common, these sort of switches for when you push on it to flush. So usually you take off the large one first, so you push this small one in and flick the large one off. That comes off, and when you fit it, it's actually the reverse of fitting. If I'm right there, I think you put the first one in, small one first, but that doesn't matter. Then you pop this one out. There's a screw in there. Undo the screw. Take off the lid. Then you need a Phillips, large Phillips, take that off. Now it won't look like that, it'll look like something like that is stuck in the middle. Okay, so if I give you a better look at what's going on in the middle of your faucet, I think they call them. You see a hole, and so there's water there. There's no water there at the moment. There's water up until the lip of the hole. There's the lip. And what your first thing you need to do is just to clean this down. So, and you'll have lime scale in it. That's what this is. This mechanism releases the water. If I was to switch on a valve now, the water would be coming up, and there's the float. When that float comes up, with there's water, enough water, it'll switch off the actual the valve to input any more water. So I've put actually some limescale cleaner, but you got to be careful. Limescale cleaner may destroy any kind of rubber housing on the actual stopper, and I'll show you that in a minute. It could be made of silicone. Well, I've got it made of silicone now, so you got to flush this off as well. Even the silicone, I mean the limescale cleaner. So take your time. Use an old toothbrush, of course. I can still feel it. I'm going to take my time in a minute and do that. So make sure that all of it around the rim has been cleaned. Use your nails to check. That's the edges. That's the one that's going to allow the water to go through. Use plastic to give it a scrape. Probably the back of this is a good idea. Of course, the nylon brushes, perhaps even here at the back, but do not use metal. Do not use your screwdriver. You don't want metal on plastic. Go around, make sure it's completely smooth. Use your nails, and when you replace it, it should be okay. If it's not, change it the way I'm going to do it now. If you've got to replace the whole of this, you have to go from underneath. So there's the locking mechanism from underneath, and this is the seal that seals the whole of this faucet, I don't know, WC, whatever they call them, this onto the bottom bowl here. So that, to take this whole thing out, you'll have to unscrew it from below, pull it out, and then that's the seal. If it was leaking, say for example, from the bottom of this onto the floor, it'll be coming out of here. So undo that, pull it out, change this seal, this rubber seal here. And silicone would be better than rubber if you can buy a silicone one. Now what I'm getting is a leak here. So on this model, and many versions, many households do have this version, you can take this top off, but I don't think this you need to do that. Just need a twist, take it off. And you don't want to do it, you don't want to do what I did in the old one, snap it off. So you don't want to touch that, you'll reach deep down and undo that one. As that comes out, that top comes off, and then you can reach that. Check the integrity of this seal. And if needs be, look where in the past I've tried to change it, I've just put a spanner or something like that on it and twisted it off, and I've changed this seal here. Break the crusty bits off. There we go. Simple as that. And clean this off and flip it around the other way. 6.5 outer diameter. Looks about 1.7 inner diameter. So obviously don't put pressure on here, just hold it at the shaft. If you find it doesn't fit here, look, these guides are, because I've just gone and moved it, see? Just move them back in. And if you find you're putting this on, it doesn't fit, just make sure they fit correctly. So I've done all the kind of bits filling around the old one. Here's my newer one, the one that was in there, that was leaking. Here's my silicone seal, the one I put on years ago. Now when I pulled this out just now, it was full of crusty limescale. You can still feel some on there. So remember I said I wouldn't put any kind of chemicals on it, including any kind of limescale remover. It might destroy this seal. So I'm going to clean this off, clean that off, push this back in, give it a little click, make sure of course everything sits properly, like these little guides sit in those guides there before I push it in. When you reinstall, check where you had your buttons. My 3 litre was there, 6 litre was there, dual amount, so it's going to look like so. Obviously if you did it that way, it'll be the opposite way around. Do it like that, you won't be able to press the buttons in. I mean, if you did it like that, it will be completely wrong, you won't be able to press the buttons. Right. Remember, it's got to sit nicely in the little grooves, the 4 little grooves. Just lift it up for you. See there? Right there, where my finger is. Right there. That's sat in there in the little groove, slightly off. Manoeuvre it until it is like so. See that? And it should sit in there nicely. And reinstall, and that's it. Guide. Screw. Probably let the water go now. That's it. Job done. It's a quick video. Many people have this problem. Hope this helps. Leave a comment if you like button, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thanks for watching.